imagation is so very important because it's part of our natural ability to create art, you might say, or expression. And I told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it applies here. But I was in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, and I was on Hollywood Boulevard, and there was a big billboard that had a dog standing by a car, and the dog was leaning on the car, and the dog was a mascot for the police department, and it said, "Get involved in crime." Now that's a direct command. Get involved. I said, no. No, I do not choose that. I do not agree to that. And commands then in that sense are coming at us, and our imagination is like, well, I don't really have to go out to movies and things like that because I don't want to actually be in that kind of a space. And I do find things, if I want to watch something, but I'm very cautious about it because I noticed that those images from that movie would stay in my mind. And, stay there. It was like actually seeing that movie Psycho. Oh, that was like, I was devastated. And that was such a heavy imprint. Very nasty. And all of this kind of thing, when people say, well, imagine this. Imagine if that happened to you. Imagine if that, don't do that. And when we're given commands and then when you watch it, when you see it, and the images are there and going through the mind, and then if you're identifying with something or not, or even subliminally what's going on, it's activating your imagination. One of the ways to actually control this and use your imagination to actually reveal the beauty of the divine, the true divine spiritual realm that is our true home, as who we are. And we ourselves have to make ourselves qualified in that sense, not in a numerical way, but whatever you desire, you need to have the consciousness for that. And when you imagine something, and a lot of people don't realize this is so powerful, and you get the feeling of having attained that, I'm telling you, it works. And it works on the opposite too. Instead of what's good for you and good for all, it becomes what would you say, a perverted shadow reflection of the true reality. So how to also help your imagination is first to witness what you're imagining and what's influencing your imagination, because it's influencing your consciousness and it's manufacturing that for you in your outer reality and inner experience. So real self-love is that I don't have to love Terry over here. No. I am love. And I love my divine presence, my God within, Mother, Father, God, my divine. And I love you. Yes, all sentient beings. And people say, well, yeah, I say I love animals. Yes, and I don't eat animals because I love animals. And they have a right to live out, just as everybody does, their own experience of without actually being controlled in any situation at all, but for each of us to actualize our true and real divine nature. So that starts right now and in your imagination. And so I like my artwork where I live is of what inspires me, so that wherever I'm looking, in every counter or tabletop, in a sense, is an altar that has a story that's reflecting back to me all the time, that which I choose to have in my imagination. And that imagination is powerful. So only imagine the beauty, the love, the divine, the good for all. Imagine yourself in a beautiful, magnificent setting in nature, and how you choose to be, and how you choose to feel, and what you choose to be doing. Remember, I imagined myself singing solo at the Los Angeles Music Center many years ago when I was in the University of Southern California School of Performing Arts with the Los Angeles City Light Opera. And so then I visualized myself singing solo at the music center, and the lights on me, and the audience, and the applause, and all that. And I could see the wood floor and the velvet curtain behind me. I got way into the experience. And then after a while, I just forgot about it. But then all of a sudden, when I auditioned for, and I was in this class of 20 people throughout the world to take this musical comedy, how to do that, singing, dancing, acting, all this kind of thing. And so they were asked to have students to perform at the sound test for the Ahmanson Theater in the Music Center. And I was chosen to be one of them. And I sang, When I Marry Mr. Snow from Carousel. So anyway, and there I was, solo. I was at the Music Center. It was exactly right, but I forgot to say I'd do it more than once or I made any money. But you know what? I got that experience, and that's what I wanted to have. So yeah, your imagination is powerful. Only imagine the harmony. Don't imagine it's going to be this, and it's going to be that. Now, I'm not imagining that. I'm imagining easy transition.